Hey everyone, welcome to my video. This is a video presentation that I'm sort of putting together to help explain to people what Bitcoin or most cryptocurrencies are. I know that on my channel I do a lot of couponing, and I know there's a lot of viewers that come to my channel for the couponing videos, but on my channel I just talk about things from couponing to cryptocurrency and just saving money or making money in general. I know that a lot of the people that have come to my channel for the couponing videos are seeing these Bitcoin and cryptocurrency videos and they don't know what in the world I'm talking about, and I decided I would put this video presentation together to sort of help introduce people to the world of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, and just sort of give a basic explanation of what it is and how you use it. Now, if you already know what cryptocurrency is and what Bitcoin is and have a general understanding of it, then you're probably not going to learn anything from this video. This video is strictly for people that have either never heard of Bitcoin or have heard of it but don't know anything about it and what you do with it. So with that said, I'm trying to make this video presentation thorough but not so in-depth that it will overwhelm people that are completely new to the cryptocurrency space. And the ultimate goal of this video is to spark an interest in people, make people start asking questions and sort of do their own research from here on. I'm hoping this video will just sort of plant the seed that will then grow your curiosity. So now that I've sort of introduced what this video is going to be about, I do want to stop right now and point out none of this is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a guy on YouTube that has been interested in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency for a little over a year now, and I just find the whole crypto space interesting, and I would just like to share my knowledge with other people. So let's start off with the main topic. What is Bitcoin? Before I go any further into this video, I do want to point out that everything I've referenced in this video is Bitcoin. However, Bitcoin and most cryptocurrencies in the general sense work in the same way, and everything I'm going to say is going to apply to just about any other cryptocurrency in the broad sense. What is Bitcoin? To put it in a few simple words, Bitcoin is a form of digital money. Bitcoin has no physical form that can be touched, such as the US dollar, so it exists purely as computer data. However, to give a little perspective, a large portion of the US dollar is digital as well. They are simply numbers in a bank's computer system that tell how much belongs to who through some form of ledger. And Bitcoin works in the same way, but the ledger, known as the blockchain, is global and does not exist in one central location or belong to one single person, bank, or government. In other words, the blockchain is decentralized. So next, I know you're going to be asking, well, what is decentralized? What does decentralization mean? To put it simply, it means the information is not located in one central location. It is spread out over a network of computers or a network of locations. And the theory is, if it's decentralized and spread out, it makes it more secure. Just think of the phrase of not having all your eggs in one basket. That's basically the same concept. You're not having your eggs centralized in one basket. You have your eggs spread out, decentralized. Take the internet for example. The internet is not owned by one person or government, nor is it located in one central place. That makes the internet decentralized. So in a way, Bitcoin is the internet's money. Many believe that because Bitcoin is decentralized, it is also unstoppable. I have to disagree with that statement to a point, but I'll save my thoughts on this for another video. I'll just say that any technology can become less functional. Now, to learn more about Bitcoin and how it differs from fiat currency, and fiat currency is just like the US dollar, euros, any type of government currency, check out the YouTube channel 99 Bitcoins. They have a lot of informational videos there, and there's also a playlist full of Bitcoin for Beginners videos. And also look for my other video called What is Bitcoin and How is it Taxed for resources on Bitcoin's history. In that video, I reference a lot of documentaries that talk about Bitcoin's history. If this is something that sparks your interest, I highly recommend you go check out those documentaries. Very good information there. So now that you have a basic understanding of what Bitcoin is, of course you probably want to know, well, what do I do with it? How do I use Bitcoin? Well, there's a few different ways that you can use Bitcoin at the moment. Currently, a majority of users are holding or hodling their Bitcoin for future value, and other savvy people day trade with other crypto for profit, much like trading stocks. Because Bitcoin and other crypto have such wild price volatility, there are great opportunities for gains but also losses. Trade at your own risk. However, Bitcoin was created with the intention of being a global currency used for everyday sales. Even with the wild swings in value, you can still buy things with Bitcoin. I'm going to stop right there and take just a break from what I'm going to get to in the next slide and just sort of go off script for just a moment. Matter of fact, let's go over to an up-to-date chart of Bitcoin's price history. And I just want you to take note of the trend, the long-term trend of Bitcoin's price since the beginning. So I'm over here at coinmarketcap.com, and this is the all-time price chart of Bitcoin, starting from early 2013 all the way up to the present. So I just wanted to show this just to give you a visual of how the value of Bitcoin has fluctuated and how it's also gone up over the years. So now that I've gotten that out of the way, let's get back to how you actually use the Bitcoin. So similar to how you use a credit or debit card to buy goods and services online, you can also use Bitcoin to make online purchases directly with some merchants and indirectly with others. While the list of merchants that accept Bitcoin directly is limited, it is growing more and more over time. A few well-known companies include Microsoft, Expedia, and Newegg. Be sure to check out coinpayments.net for an in-depth list. So the list of merchants that take Bitcoin directly is limited. However, there are roundabout ways of paying with Bitcoin in an indirect way. So other roundabout ways of spending Bitcoin involve using a Bitcoin prepaid debit card, exchanging Bitcoin for gift cards through websites such as eGifter, or just cashing out Bitcoin on an exchange such as Coinbase Pro or KuCoin. Another way of using Bitcoin is by trading coins in a peer-to-peer setting with another person, much like you would transfer money like through PayPal or Zelle or something like that. Now, how do I buy or sell Bitcoin? While you can buy or sell Bitcoin for cash in a peer-to-peer setting, doing so can be very risky and is not recommended unless it is with someone you trust. The better and more popular method is through the use of an online website called an exchange. Now, an exchange acts as an on-ramp for moving cash into Bitcoin or an off-ramp for trading Bitcoin back into cash. Popular exchanges like Coinbase Pro or KuCoin allow you to connect a bank account or debit card to move money from your bank account into your exchange account. From there, you can use the funds to buy your Bitcoin and then use it as you please. The reverse order is applied for selling Bitcoin. Now, buying and selling Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies on an exchange is very similar to buying and trading stocks. So if something like that is overwhelming for you, a broker may be a better option for you. Because since exchanges can sometimes be advanced in their features, novice users may prefer the use of a broker. While exchanges require you to bid on the price of Bitcoin, now think of like an auction house, like whenever you bid on something, people are competing to outbid one another for whatever it is up for auction. Now, brokers, on the other hand, will buy or sell Bitcoin at a more stable price, but often charge much higher transaction fees. Basically, a broker acts as the middleman by trading Bitcoin on the exchange on your behalf in exchange for the higher fees. Coinbase, note that I said Coinbase and not Coinbase Pro, because Coinbase Pro is the exchange. Coinbase is one of these brokers. Now guys, also pay close attention to all transaction fees, as both exchange and broker fees can get expensive. There's usually a buy fee as well as a sell fee. Okay, so now that you have an idea how you buy and sell Bitcoin, you got to have a place to store your Bitcoin securely. And that's where a Bitcoin wallet comes into play. What is a wallet? Well, let me talk about a few different types. I'm going to discuss 3 different types just to keep it simple. Now, like I just said, in order to use Bitcoin, you need a Bitcoin wallet. A wallet is used to store your Bitcoin. Just think of it as your Bitcoin bank account. Just like how you use your bank account to send and receive money, your wallet acts as your hub for sending and receiving Bitcoin. Now, there are several different types of Bitcoin wallets, but just to keep it simple, I'm only going to focus on the 3 common types. Now, the first type would be considered an online wallet. Now, these wallets require you to leave your Bitcoin in the custody of a third party, such as an exchange. Basically, it's like leaving your money at the bank. However, because you don't have full ownership of your Bitcoin at this point, this is the least secure storage wallet. If the exchange is hacked or goes out of business, it is very possible to lose all of your funds forever. This is going to be sort of a hard concept to understand, especially when you're thinking of Bitcoin as numbers in a computer. You know, when you think of numbers in the computer, you think of a file in the computer or something like that. So if you lose the file, a lot of times it can be recovered, right? You can restore it, or if you have a copy of it or a backup of it somewhere or another, you can just restore that copy and everything is fine, right? Well, see, that's where you're sort of wrong when it comes to Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. See, even though Bitcoin is not a physical item that you can hold, and while you can't hold Bitcoin, every Bitcoin is unique and cannot be duplicated. So without getting too in-depth into how Bitcoin works through the coding and the blockchain, it's easiest just to think of Bitcoin as physical money. If you lose that physical money, it's gone. Whether you lose it, whether somebody steals it, whether you give it to somebody, you can't just make a copy of that $100 bill or whatever, and everything's fine, right? You can't double spend it, so to speak. So it's very important to keep track of your Bitcoin and keep them safe. Now, the second type of wallet is considered a software wallet. Now, these wallets come in the form of software you download onto your computer or mobile device. While you have full ownership of your Bitcoin, it then becomes your full responsibility to secure access to this type of wallet. If your device is compromised, your Bitcoin is also at risk. And the third type of wallet I'm going to discuss is going to be a hardware wallet. Now, these wallets come in the form of physical hardware, often resembling USB flash drives. As you see here, this is a picture of a Ledger brand, which is a popular brand hardware wallet. While these wallets are the most secure, they do require you to have the wallet with you during transactions. Therefore, you have the risk of the wallet being physically lost or stolen. However, your funds are not lost if you have taken the proper security precautions by backing up your wallet's private key. Now, this next part is going to seem like it's going to contradict what I said earlier about thinking of Bitcoin as physical money that cannot be copied. So guys, just sort of stay with me here. So earlier in the video I mentioned something called the blockchain, which was basically the public ledger that Bitcoin is written on, right? So because of this public ledger, every Bitcoin that has ever existed is accounted for in the sense that there is a wallet address associated with the Bitcoin. While the Bitcoin themselves are accounted for, access to the Bitcoin can be lost, and that's where your private keys come into play. So how do you keep your Bitcoin safe? Keep your private keys private. Let me say it one more time for the people in the back. Keep your private keys private. You need to think of your wallet's private keys as the keys to your house. Give someone the key and they gain access to your house and everything inside. Never give out your private keys, and store a copy in a secured place that keeps them safe from not only thieves and hackers, but also from physical harm such as fires or floods. In that sense, like if you write down your private key on a piece of paper, make sure you keep it someplace secure that cannot be destroyed by a fire or a flood or any other type of physical harm. Now, unlike your home where you can brute force your way inside if you do lose the key, you cannot brute force your way into a wallet without the key. That is very important, guys. There have been thousands of Bitcoin that have been lost forever because people have lost access to their private keys. In the early days of Bitcoin, when Bitcoin was worthless, nobody thought it would be worth anything, didn't think anything of it. They were trading thousands of Bitcoin at one time, and it wasn't worth pennies at a time. There's people that just would not keep up with the private keys because they didn't think it was going to be worth anything, not worth the time, lost them. So there are wallets out there with thousands, if not millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin that are just gone. So I want to stress it again. Back up your private keys, keep them safe, keep them private. Now guys, I do want to note that your private keys are not the same as your wallet address. Now every wallet has an address that is used to receive funds and is public knowledge on the blockchain ledger when doing transactions. Just think of a wallet as an email service like Gmail and your wallet address as your email address, which is needed to receive emails, or in this case, Bitcoin. And I have a picture as an example down at the bottom. So the QR code and the hash on the left side of the screen, that would be considered your Bitcoin address. That is public knowledge. Whenever you send and receive Bitcoin, you have to give out that address. It is logged on the blockchain. Everybody can see the Bitcoin address. Now they don't necessarily know who owns that Bitcoin address, but the address is public knowledge. Now on the right side of the screen is an example of a private key. Now I know it's sort of cut off here in the screen. Let's see if I can make it where you can see this private key. Okay, so here we go. Notice the difference in the string of numbers. I know it all looks like gibberish, and that's the whole point of it. It's not supposed to be something that can be easily memorized and duplicated. It just makes it more secure that way. But just notice the difference in the size of the Bitcoin address versus the private key. That will give you an idea of how to tell the difference between the Bitcoin address and the private key. Now lastly, it's not wise to keep large amounts of Bitcoin on an exchange, such as Coinbase Pro or KuCoin or any other exchange. As I mentioned earlier, exchanges can be hacked and your funds stolen. History has proven this. Just go on Google and look up information on Mt. Gox. That's MTGOX. It's one of the very first Bitcoin exchanges that's no longer around, but you can see what happened to it. So when possible, it's recommended to move your funds onto a private wallet, such as your software wallet, hardware wallet, or something similar. However, thanks to some government regulations, there are several exchanges and loan companies that try very hard to keep funds secure in order to gain your business and trust. And this trust is greatly needed for Bitcoin's mainstream adoption around the world. And as time moves on, more regulations will come into play. Things will become more secure. The technology behind Bitcoin and the blockchain will improve over time, making it more user-friendly and making it more mainstream in the process. So guys, this is going to wrap up this video. I hope this video gave you at least a basic understanding of Bitcoin and how it works. I would appreciate it if you would give this video a thumbs up. I put a lot of work into putting this presentation together for you guys. I hope it was helpful. And leave me a comment down below, asking me any questions that you may have, and I'll be happy to try to answer them if I know the answer to it. And if there's anything that I talked about in the video that was not very clear, just ask. I will try to explain myself more thoroughly. Again, I want to point out that this video was intended as a broad beginner's introduction to Bitcoin and the blockchain. And hopefully this video piques your interest to go out and research more on Bitcoin and the blockchain on your own time. And of course, guys, don't forget to check out the 99 Bitcoins YouTube channel to watch that beginner's playlist. And also be sure to check out that other video on my channel where I reference the Bitcoin history documentaries. Thank you guys for sticking with me to the end of this video. I hope you found this information useful. I appreciate it if you would drop a like on this video, and please consider subscribing to my channel. And while you're on my channel, feel free to check out my other videos. I also encourage you to check out my Publish OX blog where I post some of my other YouTube videos. Sign up for a free account and then you can follow my page and earn free crypto by tipping my blog post. Be sure to check out my Blogger page where I keep an updated list of all the apps, websites, and other programs I'm involved in and may have mentioned in this video. You can find the links to my Blogger page and my Publish OX page down in the description of this video, so feel free to check those out. That's going to wrap up this video. I hope you have a great week. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time.